I launched it on the previous interview, and I guess someone had done an update back in America, and so it patched it right there. We patched this morning, and it patched. I was like, oh, okay, it's a new update. But basically, everyone from next Thursday, all the backers will have this sitting on their machine, and it will patch as we drop we add new ships, add new function. Like the Hangar module that launches on Thursday it's not like static. There'll be like updates to it. Like we're doing on our website, we have news and updates. There'll be updates, probably not every week, but like we'll probably have micro updates every couple of weeks, and there's two revs that will happen, Rev 2 and Rev 3 of the Hangar, which will add functionality. So the very first Hangar, you can't, it's basically just yourself, but the later Rev, you can invite your friends to hang out. You'll be able to customize your Hangar with some stuff. We're actually going to have some customization features in this one that we launch next week. I won't be able to show you that right here. But basically, it's going to grow in functionality and content. When new ships come online and you've got the new ship you've got it in your Hangar, you can go in your Hangar and you'll be able to get to see it. And we're going to, there's a pirate Hangar that we don't have yet. So right now we have the basic Hangar, the business Hangar, and the deluxe Hangar. And I think the next rev will have the pirate Hangar. And so it'll all sort of grow. And this patcher essentially is going to be the very first part of Star Citizen that will sit on your machine. So essentially what we're doing is, instead of like the final, when you're ready for your public beta, we're like taking that a year and a half, 2 years early, and this is the very first beachhead, and then over time, the different modules, basically it'll just grow into the, so the next thing beyond the Hangar will be the dogfighting module, which will be the end of this year, and essentially that will just be added to this, same patcher, everything, the whole system. When we go live with it, it will add to it, and then you'll be able to take the ships you have in your Hangar and dogfight against other people sort of online, and we're going to use that to sort of balance the ships and the weapons and the dogfighting, and also like how many people we can have in like one area, like support with the fidelity we want. And then next year will be the planet side module, which will be that when you walk around to like the bar or buy equipment, and then after that we're going to have the shipboarding module, which will be the first person combat stuff, board a ship, and then this alpha, the single player Squadron 42, and then finally will be the full persistent universe alpha, which will basically be all the modules I've just talked about, and obviously some more functionality to make sure the whole universe is working. And so essentially what we deliver, the Hangar is the very first like beachhead of it, and it will just sort of grow over time. So much like any online game sort of patches and builds over time, like World of Warcraft's size now is, I believe, much, much bigger than it was when it first launched. So we're planning on doing that, but instead of doing it when we're ready to show the full game, we've basically decided that we're going to do it much earlier and show pieces of it, just because part of the spirit of what we're doing is to try and involve the community and backers to share the content, have their feedback, see the stuff, and that includes like actually getting to see around and touch a ship. So this one I'll just launch, which is just this is like just a single ship account, the Aurora, which is the base starter ship. So I'll boot up here, so in a second. So this is, and I guess, actually, so let's go out and see my character. And by the way, we had the stretch goal where we had, at $10 million, we were going to get our own motion capture system. So we got the motion capture system, and like 3 weeks ago, before that we had like default animations in, so we did some animations. So all that's from the motion capture, which we'll find. And then like we said, we don't have crouch. So last week we went back for a day and got the crouch, all thanks to so it's kind of cool that we have our own stuff for all that stuff. But like to give you an example, so here's an example of like things that don't ever get cleaned up until the end, but we have to do it now. So like here, I'm walking on here. Now, if it wasn't so loud, you'd hear footsteps or whatever, because all the materials here also get set with properties saying this is concrete or this is metal or whatever. But like right now, the artists haven't set like what the property is for that area. So now it's got white squares. Now, of course, we're not going to push out to the backers this, but like, I saw it, I'm like, hey, you haven't set the material properties on these things, in my email back to the office. So, these are little things. And all these things, that like takes 5 minutes to fix, but like normally artists like don't pay attention to it because it looks good. But now like it's got to be in game, it's got to get set. So all these little things are going to have to be like cleaned up. And I'll give you another example. So like for instance, like here on the ship, like so let's see, so like So you'll be able to open up all the doors and get inside. So he's going to climb inside, but like that little inside bit, that should have opened up too. So that animation, they didn't. Anyway, that will get fixed like probably tomorrow. But I had to get it fixed. But there's little things like this. So like all these little things, like normally you just wouldn't clean up right now. You would just be working on to your next game system, but we're going to have to do that. So I'm like inside the Aurora, which is the smallest ship of, and we got to like work on the close collision. And actually, there is an animation for him stepping inside, but it's not triggering right now, but you can sort of, let's see if I can see myself in the ship here. So that's me sitting inside my Aurora. And you can look down if I'm in first person. Wing Commander style of my ship. And actually, I wonder oh yeah, look, I can do my, I wonder if we can do the roll, yeah. It's actually trying to roll my ship, but it won't work. So anyway, you're not actually going to be able to fly your ship. And like, where are we now? I'm being lost. Oh, yeah, it's such a small ship. So even here, oh, hang on, I sat in my seat instead of going out. Hang on a sec. So even the exit animation here is like, the exit helper's not set correctly, that has to be fixed up. Again, on Saturday you'll be walking out, but right now I'm like getting out in the middle of the ship, so I have to crouch down, which is a good job I have the crouch animation to get out from underneath my ship. So, and then like, more examples. This is all like cleanup stuff, which is like happening in the next few days. So like the mounting's off, then me going up the ladder. You have to fix the animation so it doesn't look like it goes like that. But again, this is all forcing us to like have everything cleaned up and polished, more like a real game when it's finished. But we're way early in the development process. So the one thing I do have to educate people in is, they're not getting a finished game yet. The finished game is quite a long way from now. But having this and having people and forcing us to do all this, I think will make a better finished game. So this is the basic hangar. Let me. So you generally can walk out, get around. I'm gonna get out. So do you know your log on stuff? Do you wanna? Can you find it or not?
I'm searching for it, but
okay. I'm still waiting. I'm like everyone. I get in like we've had a few backers, but everyone's like, "Well, I get my super encrypted 30 character thing, and I can't remember what it is." I just want to load up on the account and say, "Okay, that's the ships you had," and you'll see them in there. As long as you don't have like some of the special ships, we basically only have the 5 base ships that the normal ones we started the campaign with. So like some of the more crazy ones like the Idris Corvette and stuff aren't finished yet in the engine. So we have all the 5 basic ships. So let me log on to another account. But basically the hangar module. So I'll just quickly go back into another account, which is still be in the basic hangar, but it has 3 ships in it, which I think sort of just to show. Because the hangar actually scales depending on what ships you have. So you have a lot of ships. I mean, it'll even handle like 30, 40 ships. And basically, you just log on with whatever your credentials are, and you'll be on your account. And we actually use this patch, or we use it for our development process too. So we have a lot of people all around the world. We got people, we've got 2 studios, one in Austin, one in Los Angeles. We've got people in Montreal working, people in San Francisco working. We got contractors in England, France, and Germany, and our outsourcing happening in Mexico. So we have a big distributed development. And this patch actually we're using now, not just for it's not even the backers, we use it for scan hangar, which scales if you've got more ships. So if you have 3 ships, and then I'm going to get out and I'll get it for the business hangar.